Hey, what's up, everybody? Bud Evans here. If you're watching this, you're likely thinking about getting into rental property investing. You're tired of all the fluff, the 20-minute videos that don't really tell you anything, and your gurus trying to sell you some $20,000 course before you even get started. Look, I get it. And that's why I'm making this. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to send this to a friend. Let's get into it. No BS, no fluff, just a straight up guide to buying your first rental property. You know what stops people from buying their first property? It's usually fear, confusion, too much information, analysis paralysis. You're binging YouTube videos, you're listening to podcasts, reading blog after blog, and you still feel stuck. It becomes a cycle of overconsumption without actually executing. And then that's when the analysis paralysis kicks in. Every deal starts to feel risky. Every market seems uncertain. And you convince yourself to wait just a little bit longer. This is mostly because the internet is full of conflicting opinions. Some say only buy multifamily, others say flip. Others are going to tell you to wholesale. Others still tell you to wait until the market crashes. Even worse, a lot of influencers are more interested in selling you on a program and a lifestyle rather than giving you actual tactical, actionable steps. Start with one. One good deal beats 100 opinions. Your job isn't to be perfect, it's to learn the basics, get into the game, and adjust as you go. Flexibility is the key to true power. You're never going to feel 100% ready on your first deal. You build confidence through action, not research. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you can start actually making progress. Fear, a lot of times, disguises itself as logic. You start saying, I'm just being cautious, or I need to do more research, when really, you're just afraid to make a mistake. That fear is valid. Real estate involves money, risk, and responsibility. But you don't conquer fear by reading books. You conquer fear by doing. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. It's how I started. And that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. Let's talk about what actually makes a good rental property. First, cash flow. Does it make money every month after all of the expenses? Not just your mortgage, not just your pity payment, all of your expenses. Second is your location. Is there a demand for rentals in the area? Are there good jobs in the area, schools, infrastructure? And the last is an exit option. If things go sideways, can you sell it? Can you refinance it? Or can you rent it out short term or mid? A good rental isn't just about getting a good deal on the price. It's about creating a sustainable cash flowing asset that provides long term value and flexibility. If your tenant stops paying you or the economy takes a dip, can your property survive? Here's a rule of thumb. If it doesn't cash flow on paper, it's not going to magically cash flow in real life. Put aside 5 to 8% for vacancy, 5 to 10% for maintenance, and 5% for capital expenses. Don't forget 8 to 10% for property management, even if you're managing it yourself. This is being prepared. The biggest mistake that I see is when beginners are underestimating their expenses and overestimating their rent. A $100 per month mistake might not seem like much until you multiply it by 12. Then you multiply that by 3 years and you have several more properties and you're still doing the same thing. Let's start disciplined and let's stay disciplined. Also, let's start looking at tenant profiles. Are you investing in a C class neighborhood with working class renters or an A class neighborhood with higher income, higher rent, and lower turnover? Are you likely to get a long term tenant or a short term lease? The more you understand the market, the easier it is to find the right property that's going to check all your boxes. Let's talk about financing your first deal, whether you're using a home equity line of credit, hard money, or private money, or whatever it might be. You don't need to be rich to buy your first rental property. I wasn't. I was active duty military. Use your VA loan. If you're a veteran, you can buy a 1 to 4 unit property with 0% down. You can live in one unit and rent out the others. You can use an FHA loan or a 203K on top of that, only 3.5% down, and it works with house hacks. If you're going to use conventional money, get ready to put down 5 to 25%, maybe 30%, but it's great for a long-term hold. A USDA loan can help you find a property in a relatively rural area, and you might be able to get 100% financed on the purchase. Pace Morby talks about subject to and seller financing partnerships, and if you got a hustle and a network, you can get creative. Too many people get hung up on the funding before they analyze a deal, and that's backwards. So let's find a solid deal first, a deal that's going to cash flow for you, a deal that's below market value. If the deal is good enough, the money's going to follow. Now, I'm not saying don't have funding ready. Hard money lenders, private lenders, or even a joint venture partner will want in. Just make sure that you have those guys locked up before you actually find that deal. Make sure that you're talking to everyone and networking. That's huge. The big thing here is don't let the down payment scare you off. When I was running my program, people bought their first property with less than $5,000 out of pocket. It's possible when you learn to use the tools available to you. More importantly, once you do that first deal, the second and third get easier and easier because now you're not starting from scratch. Now you have a plan, you have a process, and you start building momentum. And remember, banks want to lend money to people who are buying assets. Real estate is collateralized. If you're buying right, you're a lower risk to lenders than you think. Get pre approval. Have those lender conversations. You're going to be surprised at how possible this actually is. Let's run your numbers with confidence. Fear usually comes from not actually knowing your numbers. This is one of the reasons that I use FlipperForce. It takes the guesswork out of your deal analysis. You can calculate repair budgets, analyze your cash flow and your return on investment, and see what your break even point is. You can even compare your exit strategies and make sure that you're on the right path. It's a full scale deal calculator that's going to save you time and brain power. Instead of second guessing yourself on every line item, you get a clear picture of whether the deal works or not. It's also going to help you avoid the emotion. Numbers are numbers, and the math don't lie. If you're doing the math on the back of a napkin, you're playing with fire, and small errors are going to compound. You can underestimate a rehab cost, you can forget to include reserves, or ignoring the management expenses. It can ruin your profit. So I use FlipperForce. It's clean, it's simple, and it's built for investors like us. I want you making decisions with data, not vibes. This one tool alone has saved me thousands. My partner in Cleveland is using FlipperForce just like I am to analyze all of our deals. I recommend running every deal twice, once with your most conservative estimates and one with your best case scenario. If it doesn't work in the conservative version, walk away. Money's made in the discipline now saves you a lot of regret later. And the more confident you are in your numbers, the faster you can make those decisions. Don't try to do it all yourself. Real estate is a team sport. Your goal as an investor is to not be a one-man band. I've seen way too many beginners burn out because they wear every hat. Your acquisitions, marketing, rehab planning, leasing, bookkeeping, operations, finance, all of that and more. And that's not building a business. That's building a job that you're going to end up. One of the best moves I made was hiring an executive assistant. I used REVA Global. Their virtual assistants are trained specifically for real estate. Now, I don't talk about things that I don't use. REVA can help you pull comps, update your CRM, schedule your calls, follow up with your leads, set your schedule, track your QuickBooks, track your social media, send mailers, coordinate maintenance, and a whole bunch of other stuff that they are specifically trained to do. You don't need to master every skill. You need to master delegation. If your time is worth $100 an hour, you shouldn't be stuck doing a 10-hour task. REVA helped me get the leverage to work on my business instead of in it. That's how you scale. That's how I scaled, and you can do it too. So if you're serious about buying your first property this year, this is how you speed up the process and cut your learning curve in half. An executive assistant is a force multiplier, whether you're using them for lead generation or just to handle your calls. You do strategy and let REVA handle the rest. Delegating feels risky at first, and you might think that no one's going to do it as well as me. And that's really the wrong mindset. If I can find somebody that does it at 80%, good systems and good people are going to make up for what I'm missing. So with the right VA and clear SOPs, you get consistency, efficiency, and more importantly, you get your time back. And that is really the one commodity. I say this over and over again. Time is the one commodity that you can sell, but you can never buy it back. Let's give you a 30-day game plan here. First goal, find one. Get one deal in your pipeline. That doesn't mean buying a deal. That means get serious about your buy box. Analyze a real opportunity. Talk to a real estate agent and narrow in on what your ideal first rental looks like. So, your mission, if you choose to accept it. First, choose your target market. Next, check out FlipperForce. It's free for the first 30 days. Book a discovery call for REVA Global and check out their processes and options for executive assistants. Then analyze 5 deals this week. Start building a list of agents, lenders, and contractors and network on Facebook. I promise you that if you do that for 30 days straight, You will know more and have more clarity than 95% of the idiots watching YouTube about real estate. I know it's self serving, right? But look, I'm putting this information out there for free because I want people to succeed. Now, I do mentor veterans and first responders who want to build wealth through real estate, but it's very few and far between. If you want access to my tools, calculators, scripts, templates, and step by step coaching, do me a favor, go to buddevans.com, book a strategy session. I promise you, I'm not going to try to sell you something. I would be happy to help you get started. This is your chance to do more than just watch videos. It's a chance to finally buy your first rental property. And remember, imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Don't worry about having everything lined up and don't worry about doing the next right thing. Call a lender, run your first calculations, book that discovery call. Those small moves are really going to stack into huge wins over time. Rental property investing is a fast path to freedom. It is not a sprint. It is not a get rich quick scheme. It is a no kidding marathon, but you have to take action. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be committed. You know what the difference is between the pig and the chicken? The chicken is involved in breakfast and the pig is committed. Commitment means doing the boring stuff, the hard stuff, the repetitive stuff, the stuff that makes your eyes cross. It means analyzing deals even when you're tired, following up with lenders, or making phone calls after work. It means taking that call with the contractor at 8 o'clock at night. It means trusting your math and not your emotions. Here's your checklist for the week. Know your buy box, trust your numbers, get support, and then make your move. Then leave a comment and let me know how you're doing. Until the next video, aim high.